Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha. Welcome to the Decomposer Lounge World Music. As you can see now, I'm starting to get a little grouping of videos here and trying to, as fast as I can, go around the world and listen to some great music as a composer only. These aren't theoretical breakdowns. These are just breakdowns about the sound, the arrangement, the compositions, the engineering, the melodic, performances by the bands and the musicians. So, excuse me. I had a friend of mine say, well, you got to listen to these young artists from Korea right now. And it's, I guess, called K-pop. And I don't know if that if that's what this genre is, but apparently this song just released. It's called Twice, Alcohol Free. And I don't know what MV is. Maybe that's character translation from maybe something else, from keyboard stuff. But let's do this. Twice, Alcohol Free. I don't know if MV is the name of the band or Twice. Remember, I'm just an old composer. Be gentle with me. I like to learn because I count on your comments to help me learn about, the musicians and the bands and everything, okay? So let's do this. Twice, Alcohol Free, MV. All right.
너와 있을 땐 내게 신기한 변화가 있는데 자꾸 미소 짓게 돼 아무 일도 없는데 자꾸 마법에 걸려 밤을 새도 안 졸려 다른 생각 지워져 심장 소리는 커져 쉬워져 그래서 빠지고 빠져 점점 너에게 That's what you do to me 나는 alcohol free 근데 취해 마신 게 하나도 없는데 너와 있을 때마다 이래 날 보는 네 눈빛 때문에
What a wonderful composition. Now, because I don't know anything about, remember, I'm a composer, I'm a media composer. So my specialty is writing music for film and TV commercials and jingles and stuff. But I had my share of, engaging with the, writing songs and song construction. And I got to tell you, if this is what in Korea is the budding pop sound and composition and arrangement, thank you. This is beautiful. There are wonderful chord changes, incredibly cool arrangements, but yet blending the use of traps, which are those fake drums, obviously it's not real drums and stuff, with some really, really super cool melody. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying one pop genre is better than another in different countries, but it's a pleasure to hear this kind of composition, the kind of movements in the chords. It's just really nice for me in this particular channel, because my other channel that I got like 165,000 in 7 months subscribers is all rock and roll and metal and heavy metal around the world and in America and South America and stuff. So I get a chance to really dive into some, other kinds of compositions and arrangements. But of course, everything is 11 fire, But I have a love for this. My father was a very well-known composer who did arrangements for Michael Jackson and Toby Keith and so many, Five for Fighting and John Andrasik, all those, pop artists and rock artists and stuff. So through my father, I'm familiar with a lot of song construction and composition and stuff in the record industry. And before I continue, something else I want to say before I do a little further breakdown on composition is I love the Latin flavor of it. The chord changes that are happening as well as the feel of it, very Latin-y. Obviously, I try not to look at the video because I want to listen to, even the singers. I don't know the words, so I'm going to listen to the melody, obviously. What a beautiful voice, a very round, soft voice, but the mix is very powerful. So let's listen to it a little bit. I'll get back into it. I love what I'm hearing. I love the chord changes. I love the arrangement. I love the structure of this. It's like, what? Music again in pop culture? Love it. Okay, here we go.
That's a killer margarita. Mojito 특별해 전혀 독하지 않은데 yeah. 낮에 별이 뜨게 해 한 모금 마셨는데 자꾸 마법에 걸려 밤을 새도 안 졸려 다른 생각 지워져 심장 소리는 커져 사랑이 참 쉬워져 그래서 빠지고 빠져 점점 너에게 That's what you do to me 나는 날 freak on the chair
Ah, God. I'm just loving this, really. I'm not BSing anybody with this here. I just throwing in the piano the way they did and staying true to the nature of the composition, which is the Latin flavor, ba 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 ba, it's just wonderful. Okay, so let me get now to a little bit more of the technical aspect of it. The bass line is very important in this track. The way the bass was composed and actually locks in with every single kick drum, I'm noticing. There are some areas where the bass line does kind of glam out of the cycle of following the exact tempo of the kick, it sounds like. But I love that. Now, obviously, because these are traps or synth drums, I think they all call them traps now or something like that. The engine and the mix and the engineering and the mixing of this, when you're using synth-based music, which could be modules and stuff like that, even if it's sampled, the purity of the sound, some people would say it sounds sterile, but the purity of the sound actually gives the engineer a lot more opportunity for dynamics and space in the mix. Yeah, excuse me. And also because technology's changed, speakers have changed, for the consumer who are listening at the beach or in their cars or at clubs and stuff. So now the bottom end has a lot more room to be flexible. And, if you notice, that kick is, otherwise pretty much pumping the level. It's probably the hottest thing in the meter that's happening there. And but it's very round. A lot of the other fun thing that I hear are like the 16ths and the 32nds and the hi-hats, even though they're traps again. That kind of programming. I love, you saw maybe we do this, with the shaker and stuff like this. So there's this wonderful projection and growth of layers in the arrangement and composition, with the producers and the writers of this track as they're building and building. I love the strings. Strings are the closest thing to my heart because of the history of my family. And so when I hear the strings, it was hard for me to say whether they were real or not. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to say they were just arranged on the keys, but I don't care. If they're arranged well, the fact that they're real or not to me doesn't really matter as long as they actually do the job or mirror the job, because in general, the only people who are going to really care if those are real strings or not are going to be professional musicians, of which are not any probably of the, 58 million people who watch this video, okay? Oh my goodness, this thing was just released a few days ago too. Wow, this is a crushing hit for these people. Anyhow, I'm just going to finish up this track, but I really, 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 truly am absolutely stoked with the musicianship, the composition, and the vocals are beautiful. And the vocal arrangements, the background arrangements, I mean, this is a very rich piece. There's a lot of musical arrangement and compositional knowledge going into this track. And I don't want it to be diminished by the fact that it's just, if they're using keyboard sounds or whatever. It's wonderful, 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 wonderful. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of goobering right now because, I think I've been a little kind of like, not too sure exactly where the pop music culture has been going in general, and it's not really any of my business. I'm an old guy. What do I care, So let's listen to this, the rest of it.
마신 게 하나도 없는데 너와 있을 때마다 이래 내 보는 네 눈빛 때문에 Yo, 알코올 도수는 완전 0.0 근데 마실 때마다 자꾸 길에 잃어 자고 일어나도 깨지가 않아 근데 이 기분 싫지가 않아 It's to the mouth and pop me Like a drink made of honey
Okay, before we finish this up, two things I want to say. Obviously, there's an acoustic guitar in there. At least it sounds like an acoustic guitar, hopefully played organically. It's too far in the back for me to try to pull out any nuances of it that would sometimes tell me a little easier in my old ears here whether or not it's a real guitar. Once again, it's not important. It's played well, but if it's a real guitar, fabulous. And because I don't know the language, which really doesn't matter to me, one thing I want to key in is that the syllable, the rhythmical melodic arrangement based on the syllables of the words are really super cool. So I'm hearing the kind of rhythms that are being sung in the melodies that are obviously matching the complete theme of the composition in this Latin this Latin style composition, but with crossover production. So I just wanted to bring that up before we end. You know, I love that. Did you hear the at the end of that? Obviously, there is an arrangement that's going in the back. I mean, it happens a lot of times. You know, these arrangements that go in the background of music. I mean, multiple layers of arrangements and stuff is what music's all about. Or in some cases, it could be just a melody and a very straight guitar chord turnaround. Doesn't matter. Either way. I really enjoyed this. I'm really excited to have been exposed to this in the sense that this came to me through something I saw on TikTok or something, and somebody was talking about K-pop music. I went, So I just looked up K-pop music, and I just went, well, this looks cool. I'll try this. I'm so glad that I did, and I'm so excited for the K-pop music scene. If this is a sample, because I'm sure it's a lot broader than what I just heard, and maybe this is the Starlight single of the album perhaps, and the rest of it maybe doesn't sound like this. I don't know. Oops, sorry. Either way you look at it, I'm just glad that I heard this, and I'm really excited for the K-pop scene, and once again, I don't know the name of the band or anything like that or anything, because I'm an old guy. What do you want? Anyhow, so my name is Jeeves. This was the Decomposer World Music, Decomposer Lounge World Music. Sorry, don't even know my own show. And so thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I'll continue to be dropping not as much as I do on my rock and roll heavy metal channel. That takes a lot of my energy. But every 3-4 days, I'm going to drop something here on this and try to get from each part of the world. Whether it's the pop scene or just something very interesting. So thank you for your comments in advance, and that's my story and I'm sticking to it. All right, everybody. Aloha.